Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, I will show you how to set up graphical user interface for a command line based server. As we know, most of us have command line server and we love the ease of having a GUI to access it. In this video, I'm going to do that. More specifically, I will use xrdp, a remote desktop connection protocol developed by Microsoft. If you have a Windows PC, you can use remote desktop connection application, which comes with Windows. If you have Linux, you can use a remminna, and if you're on a Mac, you can install Windows application from the Mac store. Let's get started. So the goal here is to make this software work. We want to connect to the remote server using this client. In the computer field, we enter the IP address or the alias which is given to you. So if you don't have the alias, just simply type in the IP address of the server that you want to connect to. By checking this field here, we are able to save the password of the system locally, which is a feature that I use for the ease of connection. So let me go ahead and try to connect. As you can see, the server exists, but I am unable to connect as GUI of the server is not set. So what I want to do is I want to start by ssh into the system. I will give the command syntax in the description of the video so that you can also ssh into the system of the remote server to set up the xrdp protocol. For this video, I'm going to see if ChatGPT is able to help me set up xrdp and how reliable it is. I'm going to open ChatGPT side by side to my terminal here. First, I'm going to begin by checking what system I have. I know on Ubuntu we do ls release a to check the system, and I'm going to do that here as well. But as you can see, the command fails, so I may be on a different system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this error message and ask if ChatGPT is able to help me figure out what the correct command is. So as expected, it knows that I'm trying to look for OS specs, and it gives me a couple of options. I know the cat command in Linux is used to open a file, so I'm just going to run the first one because I know exactly what I'm doing. So as you can see, my system here is a Red Hat Enterprise Linux version 8.1 or insert from Rhel. So this information now serves as a context to the chat so that ChatGPT hallucinates less. And though by now you know this guide is going to be for Rhel, it is pretty much almost the same for any other Linux system such as Ubuntu, CentOS, and so on. So now I'm going to begin with this prompt. I will ask how to set up remote desktop connection on this PC and give the system details. Remember, when you give a prompt to ChatGPT, be as detailed as possible and be specific as possible. And here with this prompt, I got an option for VNC. It is also one of the ways to connect to server, but this is not what we're looking for in this video. So I'm going to give you a new prompt and also add in the information about me wanting to connect to remote desktop using the remote desktop connection client on Windows. And yeah, now it gives me the solution of xrdp. Word of caution though, never run any commands that you're unsure of, that you do not know what it does. So if you see such commands, just ask ChatGPT, maybe on the new tab, on what it does before you proceed, so you know exactly what you're doing. ChatGPT gave me step-by-step guide, but as you can see on the screen here, my first command to install xrdp failed. So now I copy the command as well as the error message and give it to ChatGPT to get a solution. Note that I also do sudo su so that I don't need to type in password every time I write a sudo command. So also don't forget that I will give all the commands that I used in this video in the description below. So as you can see, it identifies the problem and gives me a bunch of solutions. The first one is adding the epel repository, which has more packages. So I'll run these commands to see if this fixes the xrdp installation problem. But again, there is a problem with this solution as it is unable to find the epel repository. So I repeat this process and ask the ChatGPT how to fix it. And it gives me an alternate solution on how to add the epel package manually, which is something we can try. But what I want to check is the option 2 of download the xrdp package manually. I copy the command and run it, and it seems to be working. So I proceed with the xrdp installation. For your information, you can check if the URL it gave is from a legit source. In this case, it is from fedoraproject.org, so it should be a valid link. I'm going to wait for it to finish download. Now I will install it with this command. Now that it is installed, I will follow the rest of the instructions. First, I will check the status of xrdp. And as you can see, xrdp is correctly installed, but it is currently inactive. It is because we still have a couple of other things to do before activating it. One of those things being installing GUI on the server. If you're unsure if it's already installed, just copy this and ask ChatGPT on how to check if it is already installed. So I will run this command to check if GUI is installed, but as you can see, it returns no result, meaning that there is no GUI yet. So I will run this command here to install GUI on the server first, and then wait for it to complete. After completion, enable and start the GUI as instructed. Finally, enable and start xrdp. And when we check the status, it shows that it is active. Now when I try to connect, it still does not connect. It is because we need to configure the firewall to allow RDP traffic. I will run these commands as suggested, and again, if you're unsure about the commands, please ask a follow-up question with the ChatGPT to understand what every bit of the command does. And voila, after this it asks me to enter a password for the system, which I will do so, and then finally log in. As you can see, this interface only comes if you have checked that save the password in the system. If you hadn't checked the checkbox with save password in the system, it will be a different interface where you'll have to enter your username and password. So complete the steps on the screen to complete the setup, and finally you can log into the system using xrdp. There is still an issue though. We do not yet see any desktop icons, nor do we see the taskbar. It's just a blank screen, so again I go to ChatGPT for help. I start a new chat because I do not want ChatGPT to hallucinate. So to solve every new problem, it's just better to start from scratch. So I explain my problem with a prompt like this. Provide as much information as possible, but while also being specific. Note that in prompt engineering, you make a good prompt by being detailed while keeping it specific to the problem that we want to solve. Now with this prompt, I get a good response. ChatGPT first identifies that it is a minimal genome session that does not show desktop icons or the dock or taskbar like in Windows. The first two solutions seem unrelated to my setup, but the third solution is worth a try. So I go to settings like it's suggested and try to search for extensions like it mentioned. I look into settings, but I could not find it. Luckily, it also gave me a solution on what to do if extension is not found. So I asked ChatGPT on more information on this point while also explaining the problem. So I open my terminal and try to install the genome extension like it said, but like always, there is an error. So I go back to ChatGPT and ask for a solution. But before that, I give a quick try to the fourth option, which seems like an alternative. Unfortunately, this worked. So I go back and ask for suggestions from ChatGPT. I install the genome tweak tool This happens when we copy multiple times at the same time. I wait for it to download, and if download, I run the tweak tool. So I can configure the Genome desktop as I like with this extension. I can, and then also enable the desktop icon, but I'm still unable to find the dock. I look tirelessly for it, but I'm still unable to find it. So I go back to ChatGPT for help, and I explain my situation in a detailed prompt like this. So I install another extension for the dock like it suggested. Then after installation, I open the Genome Tweaks, but I still don't find the dock option. So I read the ChatGPT's message clearly and restarted my server as per its instruction. And at last, I see the dock option. I enable it and I complete the desktop setup. There are a bunch of options in here, and you can configure the dock as you like. But there is still one more problem. I cannot minimize or maximize the windows. So I go back to the old friend and I follow its suggestion to activate the title bar icons. And I go to Genome Tweak Tools and find the title bar icons option and enable them all. Finally, we're done with the setup. ChatGPT was able to help us in every step. It was very useful. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you found it helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you.